specific out of the box colors or what?
Yeah, they're just out of the box colors. I mean, that's just from the.
But they're water-based makeup.
Yes. I'm just I try to make it like as authentic as possible. All right, let's someone try to speed up the process here.
I know, walking on this plastic is treacherous. And then there's... And then you got this jackass with a red jacket interrupting you while you're trying to do your work. So this is, so you made this piece with real hair from the beauty salon. I'm just reiterating for the audience.
Go ahead.
Made this piece with real hair from Sally's Beauty Salon. The rest of this is made out of latex or something, I'm assuming?
Yeah, latex, just a couple layers of latex. It's a pretty simple piece. It's just latex, and for the top, for the brain part, I made it look translucent because, I just added what's it called? There's so many different names for these things. It's a little flex gloss, and then I painted it, stained it. There's a process of painting things. If you guys want to get into painting 3D objects, like busts and stuff, the best way, because I had to try to figure this out myself, because I don't really hear many people talk about it, but what you do is you paint it as usual with the PAX paint, and then you make sure it's dried. Then you crystal clear it. This creates a nice sealant, right? So that way, whenever you can just take a brush and water it down with the pigment, and then go over it, and then wipe it down, and that gives you a nice, you can build layers, encased layers and stuff.
I see, so you...
Oh, and for the veins.
Yes, for the veins. Mm-hmm.
For the veins, I did just blue and red yarn. But instead of doing it like right on top of each other and mixing it all up, I put it was just separate layers. Because that's how you kind of have to treat things. Like each thing has its separate, amount of energy going.
Yeah, okay. So you used red yarn for some of the veins and then blue yarn?
Yes.
Awesome.
Red yarn and blue yarn, but I made sure when I layered it, I first primed it with the flex gloss, and then I put the yarn in there, and then I just kind of like, randomize it, but then I would let that dry. And then in the next layer, I would put, the red yarn. So that way it just doesn't, because like I tried it the other way and it just gets all mixed and it looks purple. It doesn't look like veins or anything.
Right. So you do each set of veins separately, all the blue ones.
Yeah.
Then you sort of seal it, do all the red ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Looks great. I wish everyone could see what this brain looks like up close.
Maybe he can walk around.
Yes.
I don't know.
The translucent effect is really nice because it's, I guess, there's sort of a clearish layer over the top of the brain. Did everybody have dinner? Not yet. Did everybody have lunch? Is everyone remembering to eat? You had breakfast? Anything good around here to eat? I thought the restaurant was fine. I had the breakfast buffet. That was all right. I liked it. Oh, that's right. We all had breakfast together. That's right. Yeah. What did you have?
I didn't have anything.
You didn't have anything? You're going to pass out, my friend.
Well, we had a late lunch. We had a late lunch.
Oh, yeah, late lunch. What'd you have for lunch?
Chicken tenders.
Chicken tenders. Wow. Did you bring enough chicken tenders for everybody?
No, I ate all of it.
All right. I guess if I were your position, I would have eaten all the chicken tenders myself. Fine. Excellent. Very good. Everybody's got Cokes. I'm sure all these Cokes came from the movie theater. We can't bring in Cokes from outside. I'm putting this together in my brain. It's like, where all these Cokes come from? It's like, oh yeah, we're in a movie theater. Popcorn. I like the popcorn. I got the popcorn last night and brought it back to my hotel room and just ate a full box of popcorn. Yes?
I have a question.
Oh, a question. Uh-huh.
Did you ever read your Wikipedia page?
No.
Checked out?
No.
I was looking at it.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Okay.
The popular culture section.
Yes.
I wanted to know if you knew that
Yeah.
one of the first villains
Yes.
on the newer Scooby-Doo mystery series was inspired by you.
Aaron is laughing at me over there.
Did you know
I
that?
did know that. And it's weird because it took me a long time to see that episode. It's Beware the Beast from Below, and it's the Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated
Yeah,
version.
the newer-
And someone called from Cartoon Network and they said, "Are you watching the new Scooby-Doo series?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Well, maybe you should check it out." I thought, that's sort of weird. Why would some random guy from Cartoon Network call and ask if I'm watching Scooby-Doo? Is this their new marketing campaign? And I honestly didn't watch it. Like, I just forgot about it. And then, like, months later, like, "Dude, this character totally looks like you. Dude, this character totally looks like you." And at that time, we were doing this weird campaign with our DVDs where we had slime dripping down, green slime on the cover of every DVD. And in the episode, when I finally watched it, there was a Professor Ruffalo who had a bow tie and thick glasses. And there was a passing resemblance, I thought. But when he ended up being the slime monster covered in green slime, I'm like, wow, that's a little on the nose. And then a friend of mine who was a journalist researched it, and it was on the Scooby Wiki or whatever. And they said, no, this is a thing. This is an actual thing. They just, from what I understand, for the entire series, they just put every horror thing in a blender and took inspiration from all sorts of things, so literary things and TV things and comic book things. And so they just that whole season is like a love letter to every aspect of horror from big to small and everything in between. And the only thing that else that's kind of interesting is around the same time is, this is also Warner Brothers. My mentor as a horror host was Bob Wilkins. I used to watch a show called Creature Features as a kid. And he was the guy who encouraged me to be a host. And at that same time, which was kind of exciting, in the Batman comic book Gotham After Midnight, they put Bob Wilkins on a billboard in Gotham City. So I think that there's someone over there who just loves horror hosts and is just trying to infiltrate them back into popular culture, whether the bosses like it or not. But it was very cool to be semi-included, I guess, in that, in a weird sideways way. But the Wikipedia is usually user-generated, like everything that's on there is stuff that people just submit or put on there. And it usually, I don't know when or if it gets updated. I think the last time I looked at it, I felt like it hadn't changed since 2009. But thank you for looking at my Wikipedia.
Well, and we've run that clip on the show a few times. It's like a bump out.
Yeah, we bumped out to commercial when they take the slime monster mask off and it's Mr. Lobo underneath somehow. But thank you for asking, appreciate it. So what are we doing here? We've got our colors now, and you're doing the hands.
Yeah, we gotta cover every part. That's to make the makeup continuous.
Yeah, that's always the worst, right? When you see a zombie and they've got pretty, baby soft hands and a ghoulish face.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah,
I do like lady makeup on myself, and oh my gosh, my hands.
You gotta do the
I
hands.
always leave out the hands, so I gotta get the hands.
Gotta get the hands in. Yeah, absolutely. I worked on a movie called Plan 9, which was a remake of Plan 9 from Outer Space, and there were tons of zombies in that. And one of the biggest problems on set is that the people who were doing the zombie makeup didn't know what scenes were being shot. So they'd do a lot of focus on the head, and then it would just be legs shuffling by for the scene that was shot. And so you didn't get to see that awesome zombie with the screwdriver through his head. And then vice versa, they would do something, parts of the zombies just didn't get featured in the shots that were being done. So it was really upsetting sometimes because we had, 15 zombies made up, and some of them were in darkness and some of them you didn't see, and it's like some of those makeups were amazing and no one will ever see them, But every zombie had to look good just in case they got on camera.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just putting this, it's just like a tan color. That's how they layered it. They put a tan color first. And it looks, I'm sorry, is it okay? All right. And the tan color.
This is the tan color. This is what they did originally for the 78.
Like at
78.
At first it looks a little, I don't know, but then when you go in to add the shadow, then it blends better. Now, yeah.
Okay. So this and so Dawn of the Dead, Savini did that same exact thing with the tan color first, and then putting in the other colors in later.
So it's like a process of just blocking things out and then blending them, and yeah.
Block out a big patch of color and then blend it in.
Art is like that.
For sure.
Everything is like that. There's a base. I'm sorry, is that okay?
Conscious is always a surprise.
All right.
Just stuff touching your eye, right? It's just a reaction.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things are like that. All kinds of art. There's always a base, and then there's the moderate level stuff, and then the detail.
The detail usually coming last.
Yep.
I think that's a mistake a lot of people do, is they try to put all the little details first. But you have to work up to that, build up to that.
Yeah.
Layers and layers. Incredible. Does anybody else have any questions about my Wikipedia or?
Have you ever fought Chris Jericho?
Have I ever fought Chris Jericho? Oh wow, this is becoming. This is your life, Mr. Lobo. So Chris Jericho, of course, the wrestler. I did a horror con with him, and he was in a movie called Albino Farm, and he had a kind of a moderate role in that. And the director was there, and I was doing the Q&A, and I kept hearing, okay, Chris is not going to come do the interview because he's too drunk. He's not coming. Like, okay, that's fine. And it's like, no, he's going to come. He's going to do it. Okay, so he's going to do the interview? No, he's not going to do it. He's not going to be there. Okay, that's fine. I'll just do it with the director. So I planned on just doing the interview with the director of the film. And then he kind of just sort of barges his way on stage, and at first it seems like he's doing a bit like he's playing a heel, wrestling heel, which he's very good at. But I think the intoxication level made it a little clumsier. Started insulting the fans really bad. And, making fun of the fans in the movies they like at their own convention, I think is kind of a low blow, And I did a gesture where I took his drink and smelled it and handed it back to him. And he said, I don't know should I say that? No, I shouldn't say that word. But he said, it's apple juice, F. Okay, slur. And it's like, okay, all right. And we just kind of kept going. And then he started calling me Haji, like the Indian kid from Johnny Quest, I guess. And so it was kind of okay. Like I said, we just sort of got through the thing on stage, and it wasn't that big a deal. But TMZ got a hold of it. And it was all over, everywhere, for weeks. And I was afraid to leave my house, because I had wrestling fans that wanted to smash Mr. Lobo into gooey red pulp. And it's like, oh, you're trying to ride Chris Jericho's coattails, and you're playing victim so that you can get publicity. And it wasn't anything like that, but I was being misrepresented by TMZ. Everyone was getting a lot of publicity out of it, except for me, really. And so at a certain point, I did like a fake press conference on TMZ, and I kind of made fun of myself, and made fun of the situation, and made fun of the whole thing, and it's kind of burst like a bubble, you know. But there was like all sorts of civil rights groups that were upset by it. They were asking people like Hulk Hogan, what did you think of the Mr. Lobo incident? So I had an incident. But it was for me, it was just a big headache because I just didn't want to leave my house for 3 weeks. But I had people calling from all over the world asking why I was in a fight with Chris Jericho. But anyhow, that's a short end of this, short version of that story. But I did a fake thing where I challenged him in the press conference, I did a fake thing where I challenged him to a thumb wrestling match. And he conceded. So he said, he ended up just tweeting that I was the man and blah, 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 and it was over. So it's fine. But that, oh yeah, we just planned it from the start. The whole thing was a bit. We had a big laugh afterwards. We had a drink together and had a big laugh afterwards. That's his story. There we go. Mr. Lobo's Wikipedia, the makeup demonstration. What are we on now, team?
We are going to be applying his facial.
Oh man, facial hair. 1978, you're back.